Hi, this is Sujit Paul here. Today's podcast primarily would take you around what are the critical attributes that we face in today's environment, which could not be only important for you, but if you really focus on the next couple of minutes of yours, you will see that you will emancipate a different world for you in terms of your peak performance. Now, as I coach people all across, as I mentor people through multiple channels and forums, I find that there is one big piece that I find as a huge gap. And what is that? That's the power of focus. Today's environment, you will find that even when people are walking on the streets, they are busy with their phones to check their social media feeds or similar. Now, when the focus is so much diluted, performance can never come. I find in public places, loud rings happening off or ringing of people's phones. I find in airplanes, people seeing videos without even headphones. So please understand that every single attributional activities that happens, you actually deflect your focus back. Whilst you have less control at every point of time for the external environment, at least you can control yourself. When you keep your phone and you're working, you don't need to keep always on a ringer because that will distract you. Whichever mobile apps you don't need loud notifications, put them all in silent. Build focus back. That's what I'm trying to put forward. If you cannot build focus back in your life, you cannot succeed personally as well as professionally. Even if you succeed so-called success, you will not get into a performance that a super performer can actually get. And it's also good times that at times you need to know how to keep your mobile off. I understand and know that for some people and some professions it's not so simple. But try to see that if you can create a scenario of no mobile for you, only feasible stroke possible. I do that most of the times now where I feel that I have a little bit of time where I don't want to use mobiles. And I do inform my friends and families that no, I will be non-responsive or I'll be low responsive during this period to this period. It's a good idea to keep people informed. The other piece that I find is that people are struggling to do too many things at the same point of time. You don't need to do that. Whatever little that you can do, do it nicely. Follow the law of minimalistic. What is that? It is that whatever you do with utmost care and love. You don't need to probably add 300 friends in Facebook. Maybe you add only 30 friends. Maybe you add only 3 friends, but the good ones. You may not need maybe too many projects. Maybe you can do a less amount of project but finish it nicely. You don't need to read probably 50 books in the year. Maybe you may read only 5 books of the year, but you take the essence out of that book. You may not need too much of furniture inside your room. Trust in me, moment you start decluttering and you'll see that you have a lot of breathing space. Sometimes we don't do that. Sometimes we feel, no, let's skip it in that way. But once you start throwing off the stuff that you don't need, you'll see that the law and power of minimalistic will actually help you to create a nice meditative environment. So in overall, what I'm trying to put forward is that whilst you build a very strong focus of yourself, you also need to know and understand that you need to build a scenario where you can do a cutoff with people that you don't need always. You can lead your time. You can love and do what you want. At the same point of time, you don't need to do too many things. Do whatever is important in whichever time it is. And the last and powerful technique that I will try to say is that, which at times all of us, including me, miss out. There's no problem to miss, but the point is you need to always come back. Is that after you wake up in the morning, spend some good quality time with yourself. If you know how to spend some good quality time with yourself, you'll see that you will lead a fantastic life of yours. That's the time when you are fresh. That's the time when there is too much of good positive stories around you. That's what I said, that sometimes all of us miss this small piece that I've said. Because the moment we wake up, we get busy in getting back to work. It's not always important. It's important to rebuild that discipline that, hey, stop. Use this time for yourself. Now, if you cannot do it always, have some good friends, have some good colleagues of yours who can guide you on that. There's nothing wrong. That's a great story. At the end of the day, we are building a good environment. And there is where, if you follow all these three pieces, number one, I said, focus back on yourself, what you should not. Reduce your focus from that white screen that you use. Number two, use the law of minimalistic. And number three, post you waking up. Use time for yourself. Once you truly start doing all these three, don't worry if you miss a couple of it once or twice. Come back on the routine again. You'll see that this 7 minutes video will not only change your life, but it will change the way you can actually extrapolate your performance to become the leader for tomorrow. Thank you so much. Signing off for now. See you soon.